What is going on, everyone? I got something special for you here. Little song I cooked up in light of recent events. We'll get started at 8:30. What is going on, everyone? I got something special
Don't they
for
know
you here.
they're Dabo Sweeney anymore? Clemson fans treat me like a weenie and a whore. 1 and 2, here I lie upon the floor. I don't like this Clemson fan base anymore. I am Dabo Sweeney. I am God's gift to football. I've been done it all. 297 conference titles. You be on Saturday. You questions me. I'll go somewhere else and when we're done, then what will you do? I didn't mean that. I'm just emotional. The game has passed me by. Don't you know I'm a man of God? Argue with him over this facade. And did I mention bad stuff happens to those I love? So stop complaining, give old Dabo a hug. I am Dabo Sweeney. I am God's gift to football. I've been done it at all. 297 conference titles. You be on Sunday. You questions me. I'll go somewhere else and win one then what will you do? I didn't mean that. I'm just emotional. The game has passed me by.
Poor old Dabo. I literally, I wrote some lyrics up real quick and I said, what style would Dabo's current predicament most need? And I said, Taking Back Sunday. Write me a Taking Back Sunday song. I think we need that one more time, don't we? While we're waiting on Tantor. Give me a Taking Back Sunday song about Dabo Sweeney, please. Thank you.
Don't they know they're Dabo Sweeney anymore? Clemson fans treat me like a weenie and a whore. 1 and 2, here I lie upon the floor. I don't like this Clemson fan base anymore. I am Dabo Sweeney. I am God's gift to football. I've been done it all. 297 conference titles. You be on Saturday. You questions me. I'll go somewhere else and when we're done, then what will you do? I didn't mean that. I'm just emotional. The game has passed me by. Don't you know I'm a man of God? Argue with him over this facade. And did I I mention bad stuff happens to those I love. So stop complaining, give old Dabo a hug. I am Dabo sweating. I am God's gift to football. I've been done it at all. To Nettie Sadley, Conference sandals, you peons of death, you crested me. I'll go somewhere else and win when Then what will you do? I didn't mean that. Just emotional. The game has passed me by.
All right. Let me switch screens here. And we'll get this show on the road. Which one do I want? Nah, it's a little premature here. Before we bring on Tantor, I know Tantor's a wrestling fan, and Tantor, I have a little something prepped for you. So before we bring Tantor on, this is how we bring people on the WreckTalk show. What is going on, my man?
All right, I got walk-up music. I love it.
Yeah, man, you didn't know. Yeah, in fact, I was thinking about this, and you know enough about wrestling to appreciate this. What you are to the Georgia Tech YouTube community. You are the Jim Cornette of the Georgia Tech YouTube community.
Oh, you know I love Jim Cornette.
The Louisville Lip, baby. How are you doing, sir?
Doing excellent. And glad to be on. And I'm sure that some of the people that have been walking up to me asking where Tantor is at, I've told them WreckTalk, and hopefully they're out there asking questions as we speak.
So do you want to fill people in? Because we were on the phone for like 30 minutes today. There was a lot of stuff I wasn't aware of. Where have you been?
Well, this summer I was in Vegas,
Yeah.
trying to take as much money from the casinos as I possibly could. And we went on one of those epic runs that people dream about. And
Really?
then, yeah, really. But
Pay Tantor. That's what I'm talking about.
well, I turned it all into the Tantor curse. Tantor's been gambling a long time, and there is something called the Tantor curse. When Tantor puts a lot of money down on a team, they're guaranteed to lose.
Right.
This weekend, Tantor has a future bet on Cade Klubnik to be the first pick in the NFL draft in 2026. Cade Klubnik to win the Heisman Trophy.
Wow.
Clemson to win the ACC and Clemson to win the national championship. So that game Saturday was in the bag.
Man, you went all in on Clemson, and they are at about as low a point as they could be now without losing to Troy.
That is true. And hey, I'll take all the credit in the world for that beatdown. And yeah, I've lost $400 on future bets, but it's well worth it. I mean, everybody knows that's listening to me. Every year I put down $100 on UGA to win the SEC and $100 on UGA to win the national championship. Now, they have done that before in the past, and I'll collect my money. But for the past 10 years, they've lost more than they've won, and I'll take credit for that too.
I like it. So you will not be uploading to Coach and Crew Show anymore, right?
That is true. Coach is an actual AD at a school in the state of Virginia.
Okay.
And he does not have time to run the channel any longer. It's a lot of, you could tell your listeners that it is a lot of work to run a channel and provide constant contact or content and edit everything and keep everything going. And he just doesn't have the time to do it any longer. Plus, since he's AD, he has to coach. If he can't find a head coach in his teachers, he has to do it himself. So he gets stuck with some real winners there for varsity. So he doesn't have time to do it anymore. I have no interest in trying to be Mr. Georgia Tech. I think there are a lot of people out there that do a much better job than me. So yeah, I just like to talk ball, and that's all I want to do. And if Rec will have me on, hey, I'll be here. I'll talk ball.
Any open invitation anytime. Now, you know I have an alter coaching ego, Kenny McKinney. Would he be interested in hiring Coach McKinney?
I don't know, but you would have to coach something. I think Coach is right now coaching. I think he coaches girls volleyball.
Perfect.
And both girls and boys tennis in the spring. And quite frankly, I can't think of a worse existence on the planet.
Well, it's college,
no
right?
offense to anybody out there that has daughters that play volleyball, all right? It's not meant to be a cut down on that. Tantor would just not want to be the coach of that.
I heard that. Before we hop into it, I do want to say, if you don't know, the mustache is undefeated, and there's a secret sauce behind the mustache being undefeated. You know what it is? It's King Ransom's beard oil. Ever since I've started putting on some King Ransom's beard oil, in particular, the Mountain right here, and I got some over. We got colognes. I've had to beat the women off with a stick, guys. All right, I got women knocking on the door right now, but I'm doing a show. If you want to grow a WreckTalk beard and you want to contribute to this team winning, you go, there's a link under there. You can just click the store. You can buy some. You can use promo code WreckTalk. You can contribute to this winning streak we got going on. Undefeated. So that's all good stuff. And if you do that, you're supporting the channel directly, and you're supporting a Georgia Tech chemical engineering graduate. I would never lie about women. I might lie to them. I would never lie about them, though. And there is a difference. There is a difference. So, look, people want to know what you have to say because we haven't got a report. People have been jonesing like crackheads for your take on these games. We haven't got the post-game reports. Let's go all the way back to Colorado.
Colorado. I've taken a lot of hits for my Colorado opinion. No offense to Coach Prime, but your team sucks.
They do.
They really suck. And if they didn't suck, you wouldn't go to your third string quarterback in game 2 to get hammered with that one also. We should have really laid it on them. That game we should have dropped a 50-cent piece on them, and they probably shouldn't have scored on us. That's just my opinion. I thought we dominated them, and we kept them in the game with 3 turnovers for our 3 first possessions.
Yes.
Very sloppy. Very, very sloppy. I hate to say the kids weren't ready, but I think they just continued. They never left Birmingham in January, or was that December? But they never left Birmingham. Just went straight from Birmingham to Colorado, and then they woke up sometime in the second quarter and said, "Holy shit, we're behind to this team."
Yes.
And then they turned it on. I said it with my spring report. I was worried about the offensive line. I was worried about wide receivers, worried about defensive line, and was worried about the depth at linebacker.
Yes.
Well, I'm not worried about linebackers at all. The defensive line I'm still worried about because we can't get pressure with the down 4, but they still play hard and they do play the run very well. Wide receivers, we talked about this earlier. Wow.
They're good.
This is a wide receiver room that I haven't seen before in a while. We're seeing the growth of a legend. Number 4. He's going to be a legend if we can pay him to keep him.
Isaiah Canyon is a monster and potential first or second round pick if he keeps progressing.
He is tremendous. We'll get to him after the Clemson game. The kid had a game, and he's a man among boys. And I know he's probably 19 years old. He is
20.
He's tremendous, tremendous. But the wide receivers look great. But the biggest thing with this is the offensive line. The offensive line is no joke. Now, after they found someone that could actually snap the ball back in Colorado to the quarterback without over his head or rolling it on the ground, they had to fix that. It looks like we fixed it. They are monsters. And just remind me when we talk about Clemson, because I encourage everybody to get season tickets so we don't have to sit with the opposing fans in the stands. But you
Yes.
get to pick up so much more in the stands. When Clemson was walking off at halftime, those defensive linemen were dragging their asses off the field. One of them was getting his ass chewed up by his D-line coach for Clemson. Another one is being carried off by trainers.
Whew.
All of them had their heads down. All of them were shaking their heads. And I looked down and was like, damn, we ought to have pictures of this and put it up in the locker room for the O linemen that get no credit whatsoever, because they've just whipped some serious ass this first 30 minutes.
They beat that ass, boy.
And Clemson lost that game. I mean, they won the game. Clemson lost. They got their asses kicked. And we haven't seen that since CPJ did it.
Yeah.
So, and the offensive line, outside of the poor snaps, did really, really well against Colorado and set the tone of the game. And it looks like there's just enough nastiness there on that O-line that Brent Key is going to run the ball until there's no air in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while we were used to that with Coach CPJ, and CPJ with this lineup that we have would probably just go off and score. It'd be one of our years where we go to the Orange Bowl and we win 12 games.
Keep going. I'm going to grab a Diet Coke.
Yeah, go for it. I'll just ramble on here. Tantor ramble. And the offense, they can run it on anybody, especially inside. Those big boys, they can push guys off the line, and they're doing it. And when you've got a quarterback, I really want to know what Haynes King can run, because I swear he could run a 4.40. And Jamal Lewis, look-alike, that new guy we got, zero.
Malachi Hosley, I think. Is it Malachi Hosley? It's Hosley.
You know me, I do numbers. And he reminds me of Jamal Lewis back in the old days from University of Tennessee and went to Baltimore. He is running over people, and he's got a little bit of wiggle. I like what the guy does as a backup to come in there and take the place of Jamal Haynes. I mean, I think it gives us a 1-2 that we've never had before in the backfield. Both of those guys are incredibly dangerous. So it really fits what our offensive line can do. And then you'll see against Clemson, we did it against Colorado. We also did it against Garner-Webb. In the old days, we called it counter tray, where we're pulling both the offside guard and tackle, and they're doing it more of an inside blocking scheme and kicking out and the holes to the inside. And those guys, when they're running that play, they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. So I like what we do. I like how we're running it. Colorado, it's a miracle they were in the game at the end, but
we still covered. I mean, we gave 3 possessions to them and covered.
Yes.
And did you know this? My God, I can't believe we beat altitude and Colorado. I was told that no one's ever considered there's an altitude difference and the oxygen content is less. Every athlete that's ever been worth anything trains there, even though there's Olympic training centers at multiple locations in the United States. And then they backtracked on that. I mean, damn, Colorado's down bad. You know how down bad Colorado is? They are like adding drones from Virginia Tech because they fired their coach. So you want the guy that just got his ass drugged by Old Dominion? They're down bad. They don't know who's their quarterback, Tantor.
They had the kid from Liberty who we beat the crap out of that can't throw the ball.
That lost to Kennesaw State. Yep.
Yes. And now they're on the third string guy that I don't even know who in the heck that kid is.
Ryan Staub, yeah, he threw for almost 200 yards against Delaware, and then they said, oh, my God, Deion's a genius for finding this guy. Now they're starting Salter again, which tells you Juju Lewis must be ass.
They don't have a quarterback.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
It's almost like having a bunch of NFL Hall of Fame players with zero coaching experience is not the greatest idea for long-term success.
I'm just curious on why they can't recruit.
Because Deion doesn't attempt to.
I mean, they've got money. They're spending it on kids. And
he hasn't made a single in-home recruiting visit. Are you aware of this?
No, I'm not. That's crazy.
Yeah. He has Shador.
That's how you make your money. I mean, hell, he's got to have a helicopter like the dude in Athens does and fly around every Friday night and land on football fields and stop games so everybody can watch him fly his helicopter.
Yeah, this is why people are going to the NFL. This is why Bill Belichick was never going to work out, because these coaches, how many times a week are they getting on a plane to go fly to somebody's grandmother's kitchen to try and convince them to play football for them?
College football coaches work their ass off.
Yeah, it's a young man's game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And that's why you have staffs in the hundreds. Their college football staffs are bigger than pro football staffs.
Oh, yeah,
as far as
gotta be.
The total amount of people. Just go and look how many people. Go back and look at you with Clemson. Look how many people were not in pads walking around, and it will outnumber at least 2-1, sometimes 3-1 for the players, because you have to have all these people. You have to have all these support staff members to handle recruiting and everything else. Plus, you've got a boatload of trainers. You've got all kinds of things that have to be in support for these athletes at the colleges. And Tech's got a lot too. So it's not like we're behind in any of that stuff.
No, I mean, I guess we can talk about North Carolina, like that Bill Belichick came out and his whole thing in the offseason was 33rd NFL team. I said, if he means that, they're doomed. This will never work. There's not a single similarity between the pro game and the college game as far as how you actuate what happens on the field or field a team.
Right. Now, college football is, most of these teams have hired general managers.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to, because they have to have somebody negotiate contracts for them and keep track of their, what is it now, 20.6 million per year is the salary cap, or whatever the cap they're calling it now. So you have to have somebody manage that. And it's not a bad idea to have a general manager manage that whole business process. And, well, I mean, we all know where it's going to end. Football players are going to end up being employees of the university. They're going to unionize, and there have to be a collective bargaining agreement, just like it is in the NFL.
Yeah, I see. B-Bean, remind me, are you a Florida fan? I know this Brent Key to Florida thing. Why would he go to Florida? Let's say that he was even interested in leaving Georgia Tech, which I don't think he is.
Definitely not a Florida fan. The only reason I could ever think that he would want to leave Tech is for cash.
Yeah, it'd have to be a lot of it.
It would have to be a lot of it. Why would he leave the job that he wants?
Yeah.
He bleeds blue and gold. Why would he want to go someplace else? If he wins here, he's set.
Yeah.
Tech's not going to fire him for a down year.
I think the only reason Key would leave is if Tech screwed him in some way.
And we all know how the academic side works. That's a real possibility too.
He would be paid more. Yeah, he would be paid more and a better chance to win a natty at Florida. When was the last time y'all won a natty at Florida? Urban Meyer? Y'all going to get Urban Meyer back? You act like Florida is some premier team right now that people would want to go to. It's not.
No, it's definitely not.
And if you don't win immediately, you're going to get fired.
Right. And what's the whole scary thing is the ACC landscape. We have no idea what the ACC is going to look like after 2030.
No.
So it could go away. I have Coach and I have a continuous argument that I personally think the ACC is going to merge with the Big East and become a basketball only conference.
Oh, and then all the other teams are going to be split between the Big 12, left out, SEC, or Big 10.
Correct. I mean, you're going to have there's writing. A coach tells me that since he's connected up in UVA, that they already have an agreement to join the Big Ten,
Okay.
and so's UNC. So that's what he's saying.
I hope
we
that happens.
We all know that Clemson and FSU already want to leave and go to the SEC.
I hope that happens for Florida State, just because I don't think that means what they think it means for them. I mean, do you have an easier path to the playoffs in the ACC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Florida State and Auburn are two universities, and Florida. Let's put Florida in there too. There's delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
Those people, those fan bases are completely delusional with everything. And this is not FSU this year. FSU, I have contacts at FSU this year. They're good, legitimately good. Last year, they knew they were legitimately bad. This year, they know they're legitimately good. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tech play FSU in the championship game up in, is it Charlotte this year? So
you think they're better than Miami? They play each other head to head.
Yes, I think they're better than Miami.
Oh, man, I don't know about that. It'll be interesting to see them play. Miami looks like the most complete team, one of the most complete teams in the country to me.
Yes, but they're handicapped by an idiot as a head coach.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
But I mean, you never know when the moron's going to raise his ugly head and completely screw him out of an easy win when all you have to do is take a knee.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it
And that's
happen
not
before.
trash talk. That's fact, because we saw it happen.
It's not trash talk. It's the only reason a Miami fan, Slim Shady Canes, had to pay me $150. It was bowl or not for Tech. And if they don't, if they take a knee there, I would have to pay them $150. You know, you messed up if I'll take a bet with you.
But
I don't take many.
But that's the whole thing. Miami, their coaching just, it's not any good. Yes, they bought a solid team, and they look pretty good. They look really good. But let's just slow the roll a little bit. Notre Dame's overrated this year,
but ranked.
How the hell that happens?
Only ranked team without a win in week 4.
Their offensive and defensive lines are non-existent, and they've got a freshman at quarterback that isn't very good. Now, their running back might be the best running back in the country. Number 4 for Notre Dame is absolutely ungodly. I mean, he is all of that.
He's good. I think their offense is okay. Their defense has regressed to a point I don't think anyone saw.
They've lost their linebackers and front 4, which is giving offenses had a lot of time to throw the ball, and they're picking apart really good secondary. But nobody can cover for 8 seconds. I don't care who you are.
No. 8 seconds is all Wreck needs, though. So Mindfish asks a good question, because there's a lot of now expectation for Tech with an extraordinarily favorable schedule. In fact, let me pull it up real quick, what our schedule is going out. While I'm doing that, Tantor, what are your expectations here? Tech sitting 3-0 with the hardest part of their AC schedule behind them, beating Clemson.
All right. We have to take care of business. All right. We have to take care of business. We are the best team on the field every Saturday through the end of the season. And we have to take care of our business. And it's the weakest part of Brett Key's existence is keeping this team consistently up for the games and ready for the games. We've seen it year after year. Syracuse, Boston College, Pitt,
Bowling Green,
Bowling Green. We can't
Virginia
let,
Tech.
Yes, Virginia Tech. Thank you. I hope to eliminate that last year out of my mind. And Syracuse too, but they just keep popping up. We are better than, we are a lot better than those teams. Matter of fact, until we play at Thanksgiving against Athens, we are by far the best team that we're going against. And the best team, the biggest challenge is going to be Duke,
who is struggling at the moment. They got ran by Tulane last week.
Yes. But Duke is the best team on our schedule until we run against the boys from Athens.
Yeah, I'll just read it. So we've got, obviously, Temple. Now, I will be at this Temple game. It's a weird kick because we're on the CW, everyone's favorite channel to watch college football on, as I'm sure you know, Tantor. That's a 4:30 kick. A little bit of a grudge match for Wreck. Tantor, I don't know if well, I'm sure you do remember. Last time we played them was under Collins.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many points Tech put up on Temple in that game?
It was either 0 or 2.
It was 2.
Yeah.
So we'll have Temple at Wake Forest, who showed some fight last week against NC State. That surprised me. They end up getting beat by 10? They get shut out in the second half. But you should be able to handle Wake. They're in a complete rebuild right now. Then you get a bye. Get a bye for the weekend of the 4th of October. Virginia Tech, who is probably going to be the worst team in the conference.
They're horrible. And, they fired their coach already. They'll get a bump this week. When you fire your coach, the kids come out all excited. They'll probably get an effort win somewhere in there, but we should wax them.
They're going to have a significant number of players not play in this game because they're going to redshirt and hit the portal if they can. A lot of them will. I don't know if you knew that, Tantor, with the new rules of college football, when your coach leaves, you can just declare for the portal right then and there, sit out the rest of the season.
I knew that you could do that. I didn't know that you could do it right in the middle of the season and just say, "Oh, screw you, I'm out."
So maybe I'm confused. I know that because it came before 4 games, there are players that will choose to redshirt if they have one.
Now they if they have a red shirt, they can sit out and save the season. And then when the transfer portal happens, they keep changing the rules on this transfer portal. But I think we still have 2. We've got the one at the end of the season, and we have one at the end of the spring season. But it sounds like they're trying to eliminate the one at the end of the spring season.
Yeah. So we get Virginia Tech, and so they're down, and you get them in Atlanta. So you don't have any weird Blacksburg juju going on. At Duke, so we'll play them in Durham. At
a high school stadium.
In a high school stadium. Syracuse. Now, Syracuse is kind of an interesting team this year. I think their quarterback has thrown for more yards than Kyle McCord did up to this juncture. He might be leading the country. He's definitely in the top 5 in passing yards. Now, if I remember right, they've played Tennessee, Colgate, and UConn. Now, they took UConn overtime to beat them, and then Fran Brown, who I don't know what the gimmicky thing is with Fran Brown, has them jog lightly after the game as to, I guess, show people he wasn't pleased with things. But you should be able to beat Syracuse, right? I mean, you should.
Of course, the only Syracuse I watched this year is when they played Tennessee, and Tennessee walked them. So I don't think they're very good. But again, Key has to have the boys up and ready for the game. He has to have them prepared. He has to have them ready. And we can't show up and just think that we're going to have a walkthrough on Thursday and destroy them. That can't happen. Take care of business.
And that's a good thing to talk about. I don't know if it was in a member stream or a public stream. We talked about when was the last time we got ranked last year before the Syracuse game. We got beat and we haven't been ranked up till now. Like
Right.
we got to feeling ourselves. So one thing for this team to take a step up is, you've checked the first box of getting up for the big games. Like he's 7-1 now, ranked ACC opponents. But you've got to keep that same intensity you had versus Clemson moving forward, or you will get beat in some of these games. Like if you think
Yes.
you're just going to sleepwalk, Tech does not have the talent to just walk over people because they think they should win the game. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Well, okay, we don't have the talent to just show up and give a C effort
yes,
and win against everybody that shows up. No. I do think we have talent. And in the first time in a very long time, when we show up, there's no talent gap to anybody that we play.
we talked about this on the phone. I wanted to kind of pin you down. Like if you graded, B minus, B plus on the talent of a team, what would you give Clemson when we played last week? What would you give Georgia Tech?
I think both teams were B plus talent wise.
So you don't think there is a talent differential between Clemson and Georgia Tech at the moment?
At the moment, I do not. Now, and I don't think there's one with UGA either.
Wow.
But if you sat there and looked at it and said, as I said earlier when we were talking on the phone, if you took our 50th player on the roster, how's that going to stack against a SEC powerhouse that's paying that kid, $150,000, $200,000 to be on the roster?
Yeah.
Our 50th player is probably not going to be on competitive with their 50th player, like to them or Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. We can't go 50 deep, but I sure as shit think we can go 25 deep with anybody in the country.
So I agree and disagree with you at the same time. I like our starting offense and defense against anyone. I think we can play with anybody. I think Georgia Tech's a team right now that if you're a top 10 team, you don't want to have on your schedule at the moment, and you don't, looking at our schedule. But if you look at who's going to be drafted off UGA's roster at the end of the year and Tech's, I mean, there's going to be a differential there, right?
There is going to be a differential, but there's an SEC bias. We all know that. And there's a Big Ten bias.
Sure.
I mean, if I'm a GM for the NFL, that's where I'm going. My first four rounds are all going to be Big Ten or SEC players because they are the biggest, baddest recruits put together. But now that we have the transfer portal, NIL, it's really spreading the talent out because the kids want to get a piece of that money and they want to play. You're not going to get paid unless you play. So they're going to places in the ACC. They're going to the Big 12 just to take their shot and to play. And I think what we've seen, especially on the offensive line and wide receivers, we can develop some wide receivers in O-line.
For sure. I did just look it up at the number of players drafted out of each conference, which is a little surprising to me. Now, it's not surprising the SEC led the last draft with 59 players. Do you know who was number 2?
If I'm guessing, I have no idea, but I'm guessing the Big Ten.
It was the Pac-12 with 43. Well, the Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore.
I know. How's that possible? Was that old information, like 2023?
I'll get back to you. Hold on. Maybe they meant Big 12. But that
could be Big 12. But I mean, Big 12, they on the offensive side of the ball, and then they're doing some stuff now on defense. They're coming around like Iowa State. But I like our talent level, but I don't think we're that deep. So it worries me if we have injuries. It worries me if now that we're not paying our backups. So if we've got a kid that's in the rotation, but he doesn't think he's getting enough playing time and he doesn't want to set a year. All right, he takes a chance and into the portal and goes somewhere else. And I just look at the South Carolina defense from last year. There were 2 guys that were All-Americans that got drafted that were originally Tech guys that played multiple years at Tech.
That's true.
And I'm sure as shit tired of being a damn minor league developmental team for these SEC teams. We have to pay our kids. We develop them. We bring them in here. They're smart. They got into school, so we sure as shit know they're smart. Keep them at Georgia Tech. Pay them. Keep them at the flats.
All right, it looks like Tantor's right. It looks like SEC 79, Big 10 71, ACC 42, Big 12 31, which is about probably what you would expect, right?
That sounds about right.
Now, do you have contacts at Auburn? I've heard you talk about Auburn in the past.
Coach does.
How has Singleton been for Auburn?
Auburn's offense has not. They've been run. They're run first, and I really laugh that Singleton's really not being utilized. Auburn's got a real good team, and we're going to see them play this weekend against Oklahoma. That's probably the best game of the weekend is Auburn versus Oklahoma.
It's where game day should be. It's in Miami, or is it in Florida? Who's hosting that game? Florida?
I think Florida's hosting that one, but that's not where they should be. They should be Oklahoma. Auburn's going to be a better game. Miami should walk Florida this weekend.
Now, if you didn't know, I'll get into this real quick. Me and Pigskin Pete, I don't know if you're familiar with Pigskin Pete or if you ever watch this stuff. Good dude, Clemson fan, part of the community. He came down last weekend and we got to talking about betting. Obviously, I have strong opinions about betting. I think it's a losing thing to do in the long run. Well, I don't think that. I know that.
Oh, but you're going to lose. There's a reason why there's this big place in the desert that they couldn't do anything with, and now it's a very big tourist destination. So,
that used to be run by the mob. That is a fact. Now it's run by Wall Street, which is the modern day mob. Anyways, not to get political on here.
It's true.
I am going to be picking. Pete's going to give me his 3 locks of the week, and I'm going to pick them based on a coin flip. And we'll see if throughout the season he can beat. I actually have him here, Carl the Coin. Can he beat Carl the Coin? We'll see. Now, why I brought that up, Miami is a 7.5 point favorite over Florida. What the hell's going on with that, Tantor?
Who is... All right, so do we know it's in...
Let me go confirm. It's got to be in Gainesville for that line to even remotely make sense.
And they don't use the opposing conference's officials any longer because that stopped.
That I don't know. No, this is in Hard Rock. This is in Miami, Florida.
In Miami? Well, then they got the refs and they got everything. We don't have a tropical storm scheduled to come through there, do we?
I don't. Would it matter?
Yeah, because Miami throws the ball. Beck is down there tossing it around, and he's actually looking pretty good. So if they have some wind and rain, that might torpedo his numbers, and it might mess up the Miami offense a little bit. But I think Miami's going to cover that.
It seems like the line should be 14.5 to me at a minimum.
But they always get a lot of the lines are set to encourage betting.
This is true. I mean,
so you have to look and see where the money has been. Is it going on Florida? If they're only giving Florida 7.5 points, that sounds like there's a bunch of idiots in jean shorts putting their hard-earned money on Florida.
What did it open at? I want to say it opened somewhere around there. I mean, we're early in the week. It must have. But I wanted to get the betting acumen. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the show. We'll get some of your picks on here. But we'll pivot back to Georgia Tech. It's a Georgia Tech show. Syracuse we talked about, and at NC State. Now, NC State the only undefeated team we have left other than Georgia, but I'm talking about conference teams. How do you feel about NC State?
I've only seen one of their games this year. They're okay. I wouldn't call them, they're not bad, but we're much better than them. And it's just bottom line, we are a better team than them.
All right.
And
Boston.
Our offense should be able to move the ball whenever, however they want against NC State. And our defense ought to be able to do enough to hold the NC State down, hold their Russian attack specifically down.
I agree. I would say that rather than Duke, I would say NC State, for as what I can tell now, is probably the most worrisome game if you had to pick one on our schedule. But
see, what scares me about Duke is that if you've watched any of their games, they turn the ball over a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why they're not doing well. And you can't win. God, who was that I watched? They turned the ball over like 5 times in the first half or something obscene like that. It's almost like they couldn't. It's like,
Florida.
Oh, damn the ball. That might have been it. It's like,
Florida, Lagway threw 5 picks against LSU in that game.
So it's with Duke. I just think if we play them and here they don't turn the ball over 4 or 5 times like they've been doing, they could give us problems.
Yeah, then we get another bye at Boston College. Now, Boston College just got a ton of points scored on them and lost to Stanford. Now, I know they went cross-country for that game, but that's head-scratching to me.
I was shocked with that. Stanford is the worst team I've seen play this year outside of the Mercer Bears.
Not the bad news Bears.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I mean, I watched them. My son goes to Mercer, so I had to go and watch a game with him, and God almighty, was it some bad football.
I had to go.
I did. I had to support the kid, and
Sure.
Mercer is the worst team I have seen play this season.
Now, I'm told Bobby Lamb is not coaching there anymore, or hasn't in a while. Who's coaching now?
Whoever this guy is, he looks like me. And that's never good.
You look like me or Tantor. You're down bad.
Yeah, exactly. But they just gave him an extension, and that team is just so god awful. And I'm sitting there going like, oh God. And I was looking on the sidelines. I was like, did they hire Jeff Collins?
Oh, I would love that.
And then I saw this, Jeff Collins isn't a fat slob because, he spends, his 40-hour work week, 39 and a half hours are spent in the weight room.
Yeah. And then the pleats on his pants. So someone was like, what if Virginia Tech hired Jeff Collins? And I said, are you trying to get me hard right now? What are you talking about? I would love that.
Okay. People don't realize I own a farm near Blacksburg, Virginia, and it's Appalachia. And it's the worst redneck area on the freaking planet.
They have their own vernacular, right? They call a bag a poke up there.
All kinds of crazy stuff. The whole best thing about Virginia Tech is that they have cows.
Man,
there's cows right there at the stadium. They've got a whole farm. I mean, it's when they have a football game, there are more people in the stadium than there are probably within circumference of 100 miles right there in the stadium. It's not some place that you can recruit athletes to go play. I mean, when people say, bumfuck Egypt, that's Blacksburg. All right. I crap on Alabama all the time, but Blacksburg is the worst camp. I mean, it's a nice campus, nice looking, but there's nothing around it. I mean, it's not like, if you live in that hellhole of Athens, you can at least drive an hour to Columbia, or you can drive an hour and a half to Atlanta, and you can have civilization and normal.
You can go to Madison County, you can go to Lexington or something, nicer areas.
Yeah. Blacksburg doesn't have that. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. You want to go party at Liberty? Ooh, let's go party at Liberty. You turn on the
Isn't that a
music volume
Baptist
and you
school?
get suspended over in Lynchburg. When the closest city's Lynchburg, you're not in civilization, dude.
I didn't know that about Blacksburg. Let me quickly address this. Virginia Tech gets wrecked hard and stuff, taking Blue Chews. I don't have to take Blue Chews if you're talking about Jeff Collins getting another coaching job somewhere, especially a head coaching job. That's all I would need.
Why would anybody hire that idiot?
South Carolina hired him. Is it any coincidence that they get their shit pushed in by Vandy?
No, that's not a coincidence.
And they wouldn't have won that game if Sellers didn't go out. Would they have? No.
No. Sellers is the real deal. He's good. And then they lost their top wide receiver too. Yeah, it was their top wide receiver and Sellers, quarterback. Got knocked out of that one. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Beamer, go back to Blacksburg, because I don't think they would ever fire him. He could just sit there and win 3 games a season for 40 years and be fine.
Yeah. All right, so we talked about Boston College. Pitt loses to Virginia West Virginia in overtime. West Virginia lost to Ohio the week before.
West Virginia is horrible.
The ACC is down bad at the moment. It's extraordinarily top heavy. I mean, it seems
is top heavy.
It seems to be Miami, Florida State, Georgia Tech, probably in that order. You might disagree with the top 2, but
I would say in that order. I really do. We can play with either one of those top 2 guys. We can play with them.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's just running the old Georgia Tech offense.
They got a good quarterback. It just pisses me off that we didn't. That kid's from
Waycross.
I thought he's from McDonough. No, he's from Waycross.
Let me look up.
Georgia. Castellanos is from Georgia.
Let's see where that guy's from.
And why we let him go to Boston College is beyond me. He should have been on the flats.
He is from, it says he's born in Miami. I don't think he grew up there. For Waycross. Yeah, grew up in Waycross, Georgia.
Okay. So
damn you for making me think I was wrong about something. I was never wrong.
I knew he's from somewhere over there in that area, but I didn't know where. I thought it was on the right there at 75. But anyway, he needed to have been in Georgia Tech. We can't let that type of talent escape the state.
I think he's in a system that works for him well. I mean, obviously he was recruited by Gus Malzahn at Central Florida. Mm-hmm. He was at Boston College in a system. I'll say this. It doesn't look good when you're a fumble machine. You quit after you get benched and then leave. That I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you.
We've had some of those at Georgia Tech.
And I wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of it then. I mean, hell, and I defended the guy. I mean,
I defended the guy too. I defended the guy heavy, and then because I had talked to him before, and I thought he was a nice kid.
Talking about Sims?
Yes, exactly.
And we now know like 100% he quit on the team.
Yes,
that this is a fact, and Key I think addressed that as tactfully as you could. If I remember, he was asked about it, and he was like, he's medically able to play. That's all I can say. And he passed up the best year of football in doing that. The best he played was when Winky was calling the offense for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So after Pitt, we should beat Pitt.
Yeah, so how many games is that leading into Georgia? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to put the over-under win total at 7. Or I guess 7.5. Are you taking the over or under on that?
I'm taking the over. And Key has to keep these kids. He has to take the next step of being the head coach of the program. It's time to stop giving him that excuse. Key's learning how to be the head coach. He's learning how to be the head coach. He has to be consistent. When we show up and we play these weak sisters, we can't keep them in the game. We have to smash them, drop 40 or 50 on them, and then go the fuck home.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. You can't have that letdown where it's like, oh, well, I mean, and to give Key credit, I think in game he's decision making has been good. It was problematic at times before this year. So as long as we don't have any of those snafus, I
Well,
mean,
I told you earlier, um, if I was coaching Georgia Tech against Clemson, Georgia Tech would have lost
oh yeah,
because I disagreed with everything Key did, except for going for the 2-point conversion, which I thought was a brilliant play. And all I said was, "Where the hell was that play in November last year?"
that's the Tantor we know. The people are in here are like, who is this Tantor that's so positive about everything? Go ahead.
But no, I mean, I thought Key. We had 2 turnovers in the first half against Clemson, and we got 3 freaking points out of it.
That's
All right.
true.
He's going for it on 4th down. Take the freaking points. All right. We're not throwing the ball. He's trying to run outside. He's running these screen plays outside. The strength of the Clemson defense is their linebackers and their defensive backs with their speed and ability. Our offensive line was blocking the shit out of those D linemen for Clemson. They were knocking them off the ball. There were holes there. He wouldn't run inside. I thought Haynes King got the crap kicked out of him. All right, and I don't think Tantor hates Haynes King. I think he's the toughest dude I've seen play football because he took a beating, and Tantor would have benched him in the 3rd quarter, and Haynes King was playing like crap. I think he was just looking for a place to fall down. Running into tackles. God, he ran into a sack, threw the ball into the helmet of a player. That 3rd quarter was just abysmal for Haynes King. We get behind. Yeah. I'm going, damn it, we've lost it. I would have benched him the start of the 3rd quarter. I'd have start Philo, and I would be whipping the ball around against Clemson because Clemson, they couldn't stop our run. They put everybody up on the line of scrimmage. At the end of the 2nd quarter, Clemson ran 2 0 blitzes. I mean, that's desperation. When you put all 11 guys in the box and said, all right, if you can get a ball to a wide receiver, it's a touchdown. But we don't think you can. That's what Clemson did to us at the end of the 2nd half. And we didn't throw the ball on them. We tried to run right up the middle against the 0 blitz. 11 guys in the box, and we tried to run the ball up the middle on them. That's dumb. I mean, our offensive line's great, but 5 guys can't block 11. The math doesn't work on that. Key must have failed calculus at Tech.
I think he did. He changed majors. He said he did.
But no, I mean, that's dumb. When I see a defense go with 0, that's a give-up play. That right there is desperation. We've lost. We've already thrown in the towel. We can't figure out how to stop you. Man on man, you're the bigger man. We've lost. Please, let's go with the running clock in the 2nd half, and let's just get out of here without anybody getting hurt. That's how the 0 works. And that's what Clemson was doing.
By the way, I don't know if you saw the short I put out. So why people are saying Philo. Now I imagine you didn't yell Philo for an entire quarter or half though.
No.
There was a guy behind me, literally for an entire quarter. Philo. And he was so obnoxious. There was an older lady in front of him that just left. So I hope the worst in life for that individual. I'm a petty individual. I'm going to go back to section 103, see if I can find that guy at Temple. There we go. Nerd Stop with the $2. Was Tantor, was he the one yelling Philo?
No, I did not yell Philo. I was trying to calm down the guy behind me who was MFing everybody. Because he hates Key, and
what
he hates Key, and I say, I actually like the guy. I mean, I would have benched King in the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't have done anything that Key did. Key completely mismanaged the last drive of the game. You never use up all your timeouts and have to run a fire drill out for a kicker to make a career best kick to win the game. If that's your game plan, shit, dude, you don't have one.
It's low percentage, you would think.
Definitely. But the kids came through. Yeah, in the 4th quarter, we were done. I just turned around. It's like, damn, you're right. Key sucks. We've lost this game. I might as well leave. I got to catch a MARTA train because of all the construction downtown. I'll just stay. And then I watched I watched, here comes King out on the field, rips his jersey off. There's a cape. There's a big S on his chest. He says, "Come on, boys, get on my back. I'm going to win this motherfucker for everybody." And he does it.
You know what
He,
it reminds
he
me
does
of?
it. And he says, "Tantor, F you. I
He
know you want to start Philo. I know you want to bitch me, but F you, Tantor. I'm Superman. I'm Super King. And I just put the damn team on my back. And I just carried us to victory for the first time in 10 years to these purple people eating bastards. That's what I just did. Eat it."
It's like watching Rocky, where Rocky just takes a beating. Apollo Creed's trainers like, I saw you beat that man like I've never seen a man get beat before, and he just kept coming after you. We don't
Yes.
need that in our lives, baby. That's what Haynes King is.
Yes. And I watched the guy take the game freaking over.
Well, we know that he told Key that, give me the ball, I'm going to win this game.
He did. He took he couldn't stand up in the third quarter. He could not freaking stand up. In the fourth quarter, Superman, Super King, and he did it. And all I can do is say I was freaking wrong. I lose that game because I got King on the bench. Of course, if I'd have put in Philo, he'd have thrown for 300 yards in the second half, 5 touchdowns, and we would have kicked the shit out of the Purple Boys.
I'm pretty sure I heard King, and I was close to the bench. I heard him say, I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell. Appreciate the $2 super chat from Mystic Gaming. Says, I miss Jackson Hall's We Need a Blocking Tight End. He's showing out in the NFL already.
Oh, he is so damn good. People watch Tantor. I said one time he ought to have a card printed out and hand it to the defenders saying, "You've been blocked, bitch," by Halls.
He's part of the, what is it? What do they call that? The Buffalo Mafia? What are they?
Something like Bill's Mafia.
Bill's Mafia. Yeah. Well, Tantor, I want to get some of your picks here now. Carolina Jackpot. Shout out to Carolina Jackpot. Had not so great of a stream the other day, but he's back. He's back doing things. They have a pick'em challenge here, and basically you pay $20 and then you take like 80% of the pot if you're getting first. But I want to get some of your picks here. Now, I don't know how he's got the line at 3 on Florida at Miami.
You got to go. It has to be Vegas. You have to choose a site like I don't care if you use ESPN, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars, but you have to use one of the big boys lines.
Well, this is just something he has in a Google sheet for their little pick'em challenge. Florida at Miami. Now, the coin has picked all these, so you can see if you can beat the coin too. Florida plus or minus 3 or push. The coin only has 2 sides, so I didn't. We'll ignore the push here. Are you not taking Miami at minus 3 on this?
I would take Miami minus 3 all day long.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about there. Arkansas at Memphis. Arkansas minus 7.5 or Memphis plus 7.5. What do you want there?
I actually bet this game. Arkansas is sneaky good.
So you're taking Arkansas minus 7.5.
I took Arkansas to cover, and they might not, but damn, they look just. They're support. Them and Missouri are surprise teams in the SEC this season. Well, I guess you could call Auburn a surprise team since they shit the bed last year. So,
now, that's interesting. This thing, I'm confused with some of these lines because Pete gave me his 3 locks of the week. Let me look at it. I think he had Memphis. No, that was Missouri. Never mind. That's what you were talking about. Arkansas minus 7.5. All right. We talked about it some. Auburn at Oklahoma. Oklahoma 6.5 point favorite, minus 6.5. Who you taking in that?
That game, okay. I stayed away from that one specifically because it's in Oklahoma. I don't think Auburn can get a fair shake in Oklahoma. And that's 6.5. I can see Oklahoma beating them by 7. So that's one that I would not bet on. But if I had to, if my life depended on it, and I was putting money down, I would take Auburn in the points.
So you take Auburn plus 6.5. Give him all of those 6.5 points.
I don't think Auburn wins that one, because it's in Oklahoma. But I think it's going to be tighter than that. But Oklahoma has shown this year they've got a defense too. And Auburn likes to run the ball. So it's not if Auburn goes out and starts throwing to all these receivers they paid a lot of money for, and we're definitely not missing Singleton.
Let's talk about that for a second, because that was confusing to me when he did it. It's not confusing to me that he left for more money. That makes all the sense in the world to me. But wouldn't you choose a team if you're Eric Singleton Jr. that's not likely to fire their coach and knows at the time they didn't know who their quarterback necessarily was? Wouldn't you go to a team that's pass heavy if you're Singleton?
That's what I would do, but I don't know the kid, so I don't know what motivates him. All I know is that he demanded more cash the year before out of Tech, and they gave it to him. The next year he came in and demanded more money out of Tech, and they didn't give it to him.
All right.
So I think that says a whole lot about what the coaching staff thinks. You know,
Yeah.
the inaction, and then they went out and took that money, and damn if they didn't buy some good players. I mean, 11, 8, 9, 3, and then 4. I said earlier, 4 is tremendous. I mean, and I think, stop me if I'm wrong, but we both agree he's got potential to be somewhere between Bebe and the best ever play at the Flats, 21.
You heard it here first. Isaiah Canyon, somewhere between Demarius Thomas and Calvin Johnson. Mike Navarro, I'm glad you're in here. Chill out. Chill the fuck out a little bit, though. That's all we'll say about that. Yeah, okay. We're gonna put you in timeout. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. This is why we can't have nice things. Only for 5 minutes. Now, if you come in and do the same stuff, we'll just boot you out of here. You can create a new account, and we'll boot that one out too. All right. Tulane at Ole Miss. Ole Miss minus 11.5.
Tulane's had a heck of a year, but Kiffin, that dude likes to lay points on people, and he likes to do it in style. So I have actually taken Ole Miss to cover in this one.
All right. So you're taking Ole Miss minus 11.5.
Yes. Kiffin is one of the few coaches that likes to put a bow on the present of a score.
He does like to run it a little.
Yes, he does. He's the modern day Steve Spurrier.
He is. Illinois at Indiana.
That's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, close line, 3.5. Indiana minus 3.5.
I did something strange here. I took the points in Illinois, and then I also took Illinois on the money line. I think Illinois is going to take that game. And I could be completely freaking wrong, but I just like how Illinois played. I saw, damn it, who did Indiana play the other day that I watched? I thought they were good, but not great. I saw Illinois. I think, didn't Illinois play Duke?
Yeah, and they ran them like 45 to 20.
They did, but they forced a lot of turnovers on Duke. And then I saw Illinois play somebody else, but I really like what Illinois has got going on. And then their coach is, isn't it Bielema?
I'm not sure.
The old Wisconsin coach that just likes to punch people in the face. And I don't think Indiana can take that type of an attitude.
All right, so you're going to take Illinois plus 3.5. You got them on the money line, certainly. That means Indiana.
Outright.
That means Indiana's not covering. What's the world coming to when Indiana and Illinois is a great football game? That's college football for you. What's going on, Luke?
It's not basketball, it's football, right?
That's right. All right. Oregon State at Oregon. Massive line here. Now, Oregon did not cover last week, I don't think. Oregon, a 34.5 point favorite.
Oregon State is trash.
All right. Do you think they're 34.5 point dogs trash?
Okay. Will Lanning pull his starters in the third quarter? Against other teams, yes. Against Oregon State, in-state rival, he's the only show in town. I mean, Oregon State is basically they're trying to reconstitute the Pac-10 with a bunch of community colleges from California out there. And he's not going to let that happen. And I think that he's going to keep his foot on the gas all the way through the fourth quarter, and I think he's going to cover.
He's covering. I got the colors on. Pigskin Pete gave me these, and we won with them. So I'm not washing these either, and I'm not taking them off. I'm going to wear them to work even. Oregon minus 34.5 for Tantor. Michigan at Nebraska, another tight line. Michigan 2.5-point favorite. What do you got there?
Nebraska's a whole lot better than what they've been, but I still have Michigan winning that one, and I think they cover because it's not going to be a 1 or 2 point game. I think they're going to win by a field goal. If the line slipped up to like 4.5, I probably would take Nebraska since it's at home.
Don't they have Pat Mahomes' son? Is Dylan Raiola at Nebraska that guy that pretends?
You're talking about Raiola. I was thinking about. I look at him as the guy that they stole from Georgia.
Well, he moved to Buford from California and was a Georgia commit. And who knows? Because could you not just pay his family to move there and a house and everything? Like that's totally within the rules, right?
You can do anything you want now.
Yeah, I'm sure something like that happened, and then he went to Nebraska anyway.
But wasn't it something about one of his relatives got a job in Nebraska? I think. But anyway.
Oh yeah, like one of his family members played there or something. I do think it's weird to pretend to be someone else when you're not getting paid to, though. That is a bit weird to me. Now, Ball State at UConn. This says it's the Kale Hall shitter of the week here. Ball State, actually, UConn a 20.5-point favorite. Is UConn that good?
Not in my opinion. But I haven't seen either one of them play. I've just looked at scores when looking at the ACC scores and looking at, how well UConn did against, was it Syracuse?
Yeah. But I mean, Syracuse is not a great team.
I don't think they are either. I don't think there's any way that UConn covers, right?
I would agree with you. I'd take Ball State plus 20.5.
I think that UConn uses all their NIL money on their basketball team.
The girls' basketball.
It could be. Shit.
Don't they have a hell of a girls' basketball team? Are they going
yes, they do.
Crazy
they have
run?
a hell of a girls' basketball team. I think that they're just using club players for their football team. So who knows with them? But they are UConn's definitely a basketball school.
Now here's a team that has gotten a lot of attention lately because they've spent more money than anyone else in the portal last year. Texas Tech at Utah, and Utah looking much better than they were last year. Utah a 3.5-point favorite hosting Texas Tech.
I have not gotten a Utah game right in 3 seasons.
Damn.
I've got a losing streak on Utah that goes back that far. I think Texas Tech's the better team.
Okay.
So I'm just going to stick with Texas Tech on that one, and I will get that one wrong because, like I said, I have not gotten a Utah game right in 3 years.
All right, give Tantor the 3.5 points in Texas Tech. All right, now here's one that's going to be interesting because Clemson is so down, and let's take this opportunity to talk about, I made a little AI song for Dabo, an emo song. What did you think about the press conference where Dabo, it was bizarre. Did you see it?
I did. And for him to go off on the fans, I'm in the season ticket section. Section 103 is where I sit, season ticket holders. We've all been together in the same area for the Jeff Collins debacle on. And people next to us asked for anybody with extra tickets because their relative, it plays for Clemson. and they want Clemson people there. We're like, no, let's not. They go, oh, come on. So we ended up getting together and tickets so that the family for this Clemson player could sit there. And we had some very pleasant conversations. They were nice people. We didn't get in their face or anything and be nasty to them at all. We were good guests or good hosts. We were really good hosts, so we kicked their ass.
There you go.
Hey, that's how you send them home crying. Wish them good luck the rest of the year because I hope they win all their games the rest of the year so that our win over them counts more. But anyway, they were nice people, and I asked them what they thought about Dabo, and nothing but good stuff. So when they had that press conference, and he's going off and talking about the fans, and he'll just go someplace else and win somewhere else. What's he talking about?
It was worse than that. He said, if y'all don't want to win anymore, if y'all are tired of winning, I'll go win somewhere else. So he hit both ends of it.
Yeah. So is he trying to get fired? Because I don't know of a Clemson person that dislikes the guy.
I don't either. I mean, this is something Pigskin Pete brought up. Like, you're making something out of nothing. Like, I don't understand it.
I mean, I've met him once. I met Dabo once. Super guy. Super nice guy. I would, and I know I made this comment on the show last year that he's like Brett Key. They're not individually involved in the play calling on offense or defense. They are a true head coach that motivates the team and runs the team. They're not Nick Saban who's running the defense. I don't care who the DC is for Alabama. It was Nick Saban. Paul Johnson was the offensive coordinator for Georgia Tech when he was here.
Yeah, we didn't have an OC.
I know, but he was it. And I don't even think he knew the players' names on his defense. He might not even have known his coaches' names on his defense. He didn't care what happened over there. So you've got coaches like that. Athens, we all know who the DC is in Athens. All right?
Sure.
It's so you have these coaches that go in and run programs, and they do a good job. I have respect for those guys because they're all winners. But they control a side of the ball, and then they hire somebody to control the other side of the ball. Well, Key actually has two coordinators that run their sides of the ball, and he's running the team. And Dabo does the same thing. His coordinators run each side of the ball. Now, I mean, yeah, he knows what's going on each side of the ball, but he's running the team, not the individual plays. He's not making calls for plays. He's not calling individual plays or anything like that. But Dabo runs a hell of a program.
He does.
So I don't know why anybody would be crapping on him there.
Well, I mean, they're struggling, and when you've built the success he has, and then you're 1-2, I mean, you've got to know people are going to be critical of that.
Yeah, but they better watch out because I had an argument yesterday with Coach. You can't win in South Carolina. They don't produce enough D1 football players to win in that state.
Well, they recruit Georgia pretty well.
Exactly. And that's the point.
Yeah.
You have to come to Georgia, you have to come to Florida, and you have to recruit those areas. South Carolina, I'm sorry, doesn't have enough D1 athletes to win at the top level. So you have to have a name, you have to have success, and you have to go and bring your athletes in and convince them that Clemson, it's not even Clemson, Greenville, South Carolina is the place you want to be.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm not going to crap on Clemson, the school. It's not Georgia Tech, but it's a good school. I mean, it's not a joke like Florida State. I'm right. Florida State's a joke.
Yeah, it is.
And it's even more of a joke now that I've got an insider down there now, and it's like it's even bigger joke than what I thought. And it's not even safe either. That's a whole nother story. Crime is rampant on the FSU campus. Let's put it that way.
OJs. Well, Clemson a 17.5 point favorite. What do you think? Do they cover 17.5 with the issues that now keep in mind they're 119th nationally right now offensively.
Mm-hmm. They are running the ball too much. They're not passing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we made 3 mistakes on them. So that's we handled them except for 3 plays. We screwed up 3 times and they took advantage of all 3. So they're not completely incompetent. If you make a mistake, you're going to pay. We made 3 mistakes. We paid dearly. And they will do that. They've got talent. I think our talent's better, but they've got talent. They can do it. But it looks like right now they want to have a running quarterback who should be throwing the ball to this giant tight end that could be in the NBA playing power forward.
So you going to take Syracuse in the 17.5?
Heck no.
Give them Clemson minus 17.
Although, I think Clemson turns the ball over a boatload of times, and Syracuse has a chance of beating them if you want the truth about it. But Klubnik does not look very confident.
He's not being used right, to your point. I mean,
I don't think he's being used right at all. And the weakest part of Clemson now, I mean, think about it. All these wide receivers and running backs that Clemson were putting in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Saturday, they don't have an NFL wide receiver on that team. They don't have an NFL running back on that team.
They certainly don't have an NFL running back. They have a converted wide receiver that is playing running back that gets a few carries. I didn't know, they have a 5-star freshman running back that got 1 carry in that game.
Well, that means he can't play because those guys know about talent. So that means he can't play or not ready to play. But they also have 5-star tight ends that they never used.
Yeah, not good. All right. So give Tantor Clemson minus 17.5. The last pick on here, maybe the most interesting, South Carolina at Mizzou. Mizzou a 13.5 point favorite. Mizzou looking really good this year.
I think so. I think the point spread is because Sellers is out. And if Sellers is out, Mizzou is really good and they cover.
They have a top 10 offense and defense right now.
They are no joke. But their problem is they play in the SEC West, which could probably, play well against the NFL teams.
But there aren't divisions anymore.
Oh, they don't have divisions anymore? Oh,
not in the SEC, no.
Okay. So Missouri is very, very good.
And I think they were in the East, weren't they? Could be wrong.
I think they were in the East. I think you're right. I think they were in the East.
Yeah, so you've taken some L's here, Tantor. Give us a W pick on my minus 13.5 Mizzou.
I'm taking Missouri.
Missouri 13.5. I think that makes sense. Sellers probably won't play because if it is it a concussion? Is this confirmed? I mean, isn't that a 2-week minimum thing?
They're not announcing it. And when they don't announce it, I take that as he can't play.
Yeah, now both the ACC and SEC, they have slightly different rules on injury reporting. Now, the only reason they're having to report injuries is betting. That's what it comes down to, and it's an initiative to try and get some wrongdoing out of the game or some insider information out of the betting circle. I know in the ACC, by Thursday you have to report questionable, probable, or out. I don't know how the SEC works. Maybe someone in the chat can tell me. I don't know when they have to report that by. I do know that's how it works in the ACC, though. Which makes me wonder, Tantor, what prevents you from just listing everyone as questionable?
Because then you're using subterfuge to adjust the lines. Because if you've got a guy that's not hurt at all, but you're still listing him as questionable. I mean,
Well, that's an extreme example. I guess like Haynes King would be a perfect example.
exactly. I think he's hurt.
Could you not
My,
list him as questionable for every game though?
I would.
Yeah. Well, and you know whether he's going to play or not, but you could just list him as questionable.
I mean, I was absolutely furious against Garner Webb when I showed up and Philo's starting because I had Georgia Tech to cover, and we turned the ball over the first 2 times. Garner Webb scored, and we were behind by 7, and the line I think was 21. I was like, "Holy shit! I've lost money on this. Damn him! If his quarterback's out hurt, he's got to post that crap."
Well, you messed up there. You should have called your boy WreckTalk. We would have talked to you about that one.
Yeah, it just pissed me off. And Haynes was out there at the beginning too and warming up and didn't play.
So I guess we'll end the show with this. What is Georgia Tech's greatest strength and what is their biggest weakness right now?
We'll start with the negative. Weakness is pass rush from the down 4.
Yeah, I would agree.
They cannot get pressure without bringing the blitz. But when they do bring the blitz, Powell Lee gets home, Efert's getting home, Lightsy's getting home. They look good when they bring the blitz. But the down 4 cannot do it. So when we're doing down 4, trying to rush, and we drop back and play that shitty zone defense, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Except when Shelley played one play and broke off his man and came and just stuffed the wide receiver down and just played it perfectly. I want to see more Shelley out there. So that's the weakness. All in all, though, the defense made 3 mistakes all game long. That's probably the best I've seen the defense ever play.
It's been good.
Let's give them props. Those boys are playing. And I mentioned it earlier. If people don't think this is the best defense we've had in a decade, even better than CPJ's, take a look how many missed tackles they have. It's not a lot, people. It's less than 5 a game.
How many did you count this, right? You tracked the stat. What was it against Clemson?
I had 4.
4 missed tackles all game.
Yeah. And it used to be you couldn't count them all. I mean, I had marks all over paper for Collins. And
you had to get scientific notation out to write the number of missed tackles.
I had, to the X power, and it was crazy trying to keep track of all the missed tackles. I mean, you could have 8 missed tackles on one play. God missed 3 tackles. He'd get up, miss again, fall down.
How do you have multiple missed tackles on the same play for the same play?
You saw it. It was horrible. I mean, these guys, do you guys ever go out there in pads and take to the ground? Ever? I swear, I don't know if Collins ever ran practice. Do we know if he ever ran practice?
I know that he did dumb things at practice. I don't know if that counts as running it.
I've heard some of the stupid stuff that he used to do, but I never heard that he actually ran a practice. Okay, so that's what I'd say the weakness part of it is. The strength. I think the strength is the offensive line. That offensive line is for stinking real. And everyone on our schedule, I think if we take those, and we play a lot of guys. We've been playing 8 and 9 guys on the O-line, and every one of them have been playing well. I mean, we lost our best offensive lineman, the guard, and he comes out there and puts a guy right on his ass. The backup did.
By the way, did you see Keelan Rutledge with just blood gushing out of his nose, plugs it up, goes right back in? I don't know if you went back.
He came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that dude's a beast. He's got to get drafted. I mean, he's a monster inside.
Yeah, he is.
And in here, I was worried about our tackles. Oh, I don't have to worry about those tackles. They're incredible.
We're good up front offensively.
And then I give Jeep all the credit in the world.
Yeah, Jeep doing a good job. I mean, the offensive line's been the staple of this team pretty much since Key took over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even in his interim.
I like the offense. I like what the offense is doing. I don't like the play calling on offense. I mean, I just don't like it. But I think the offensive talent is incredible. And I said last game, I said, imagine what CPJ could do with these players on offense. I mean, you've got a 4-4 quarterback running the triple option with those two running backs and then those two monster wide receivers. Holy shit. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying about the play calling. It seems predictable, and to me, that was the biggest indictment on Clemson in that game. Georgia Tech didn't do anything that no one who's watched more than a game of Georgia Tech wouldn't have expected them to do. We drove the ball 90 yards toward the end of that game, doing exactly what Georgia Tech does. Just run up the middle, then kick one, a run to the outside, and just kind of alternate back and forth.
That's the personality of the head. The team's taking the personality of the head coach. We're going to show up and we're going to punch you in the mouth. Are you going to punch us in the mouth back? Clemson did not. Bottom line, our kids are tough, and they're going to go out there and they're going to impose their will on the other side, and they're going to beat them. And they did that to Clemson. And when we were talking on the phone, I was talking about, okay, Clemson on offense. They ran their tight end or running back out to the wide side of the field to see if they could get Eford moved out. And as soon as they got him moved out of the center, they ran to the other side. They ran to the boundary outside to get away from him. And that's how they picked up the rush yards. And it took us a while to counter that. We were a little slow with making that adjustment to see what they were doing. Clemson on defense, we said, we're going to go outside on you. And I'm like, God, we're playing right into the teeth of the Clemson defense as they're outside. Run inside. I was watching the run blocking inside, and it was blocked really, really well.
Yeah. Well, and what we all, to give Buster credit in the run game, we play numbers. We'll pull a tight end and a tackle.
We do.
And
we'll pull guards. We'll pull a guard and a tackle. Sometimes we'll pull a tight end and a tackle. He's doing a lot of trap blocking.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the run scheme. I like what they're doing. Plus, it also helps when your three interior offensive linemen are knocking the shit out of three defenders and pushing them downfield 5 yards. We threw a screen pass in the center. God, I wish I'd had a clip of that play. We threw a screen pass in the center. I was like, how the hell didn't we get a flag with linemen downfield? Because our guys were 5 to 10 yards downfield knocking the shit out of Clemson players.
Yeah. Putting them on their back. I think what was their best defense? Their best defensive end was it TJ Parker or something? We put him right on his back.
Yes.
Was that Riggs that got that? I'm trying to remember who pulled that off, but it was impressive.
It's our guys knocked the hell out of the. I said it earlier in the show. At halftime, those Clemson defensive linemen were dragging their asses off the field as we booed them, and they're beat. They are defeated. They got their asses kicked. They don't want any part of our guys. They know it. You could tell. They weren't jogging off. They weren't laughing. There was none of that. They were all separate. They were all dragging their beat asses off the field because their asses got beat, and they know it. They knew it. They know it. It's what happened. We went in there in a heavyweight fight and we won. That's how it is.
Are you saying that they didn't want none of this smoke?
They wanted none of it. They were not the street profits. They did not want the smoke.
Zach Jones says Riggs, McKinney, and Rutledge all had pancakes on Parker. You're telling me that guy ended up on his back 3 different times at the hands of 3 different players? Man.
I used before that game, I thought that he was a first or second round NFL draft choice. After watching how he got his ass kicked, I wouldn't draft him.
Yeah, not a good look.
He's not man enough to play in the NFL.
Minutes and Principles says Jamal Haynes blocking like chef's kiss. Did you? I didn't watch a lot of the running back blocking. What did you think of the running backs picking up blocks?
They were chipping pretty well. they would pick up the blitzes. I mean, Clemson, they had to come with the blitz a lot, and we were picking it up. I thought that Haynes King was not reading it well and getting rid of the ball. I thought when he got sacked, he was holding it. He would just go into a turtle and go down. I thought the running backs did very, very well. I thought both of them did very well in blocking.
All right. The last topic here, and we'll get out of here. It's getting late. Does Georgia Tech end up in Charlotte?
I said at the beginning of the show, yes, Georgia Tech ends up in Charlotte. We have to take care of business. If he doesn't keep his team up, I mean, this is his job right here. There's no excuses. He has the better team. We can't sit here and say, oh, well, you didn't have the money to pay guys or whatever. No, he's got the team. He's got the schedule. Go do it. Week in, week out. Kick ass. And then at the end of the year, Friday after Thanksgiving, kick the Athens boys' butts. Although I'm not going to be there, and I'm pissed off about that. The tickets came out.
It's ridiculous.
That is the biggest pile of shit ever.
There, to give you guys an idea, if you haven't looked, decent ticket. I'm talking about decent, $300-$400. I mean, that's what I saw.
Because I was right there with you, a couple rows back with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I went and looked at those tickets when my window came up. Was $1,300 per ticket.
Man.
My tickets that they had me assigned to were in the end zone at $395 each. So they could F off for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unreasonable.
And I know that's not Tech doing it. So that's not an attack at Tech or anything else. It's not Tech doing it. That's Mercedes-Benz now.
Yeah. It's a lot of money. Well, you heard that going to Charlotte. You beat step one complete. We have this streak against rivals, losing streak against rivals. You broke one, break the other one, get to Charlotte, and break your foot off in college football's ass this season and make a run.
Yeah, and then let's all go to Charlotte. I'm not going to another shitty bowl game in Birmingham. That was hell.
Yeah, it was rough.
We're not doing that again. Everybody I talked to that went, we've all said we're banning Birmingham.
Yeah, no more Birmingham.
No.
Well, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in. I think we had about 105 at the peak, something like that. So I appreciate everyone for showing up. And a special thank you to Tantor. He's back. He's going to be on the show. And I think we even talked about it. We can upload his post-game reactions. We'll upload them here to the channel. We have a way of doing that. So Tantor's here for the long haul. And y'all have a good night. And if no one's told you, if no one else loves you, WreckTalk does. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, guys.